Hi, I'm Andrea Doyle. I'm a workplace mediator, conflict manager, author and presenter. And in this post, I'm talking about how to become a mediator in Australia. Now, becoming a mediator has been one of the best moves I've made in my career. I didn't expect it at the time, but undergoing the training for mediation provided me with more communication skills and a better understanding of negotiation than I had expected. Oh, and I also became more confident with the tried and tested process of mediation. Now, mediation is not a regulated industry in Australia, which means anyone can call themselves a mediator. And this can lead to confusion and disappointment when clients engage somebody they believe who has mediation experience, but they've had no formal training and they've not been assessed to any level of competence. This does not serve our industry well. But there are charlatans across all industries, not just mediation. So mediators who have been trained and are nationally accredited can outshine those pretend mediators by promoting their accreditation with the National Standards Board. That's the Mediator Standards Board, or MSB, because of course, mediation has its own set of acronyms. Now, if you're looking to see if there's any or how to find people on the National Register, you can simply do a Google search or any internet search about Register for Nationally Accredited Mediators. Now, the MSB, in its National Mediator Accreditation System, or of course NMAS, has standards, both approval standards and practice standards. Now, the approval standards cover the requirements to become a nationally accredited mediator and to continue accreditation process every 2 years. The practice standards outline the minimum requirements expected of a mediator in relation to how they practice and the level of competence that they hold. Now, the approval standards set the following as a minimum for training, and these have come directly from the approval standards. So a training course of a minimum of 38 hours in duration, which could be conducted over up to a 2-year period of time, and it could be in one group or it can be over a series of modules. That there must be at least 2 trainers delivering the training, and the principal trainer has at least 3 years experience as a nationally accredited mediator, and they're also an experienced trainer. In the training program, there also needs to be sufficient coaches for each trainee to be observed performing the role of a mediator, so through a role play. Another element is that the coaches who are doing the assessing must also be a nationally accredited mediators. So you can start to get an understanding that the process that sits behind the national accreditation is it's not particularly involved, but what it is, it's committed to making sure that our work of mediators is held at a high level. Now, each participant in the training will need to go through at least 9 simulated mediations. And of course, simulated mediations is another term for role play. But it's an important aspect in the learning process. Now, when searching for a training course that could lead you to national accreditation, make sure you can compare it to these standards. There are some that are offered for a half day, some that are offered for a 1 day, and some that are offered for 2 days, and they all add value. But what a 5-day course is dedicated towards those people who want to become a mediator, not just to have the basic understanding. I've been training and assessing mediation courses since about 2005, and although there is a high success rate for the participants, you must understand that if you're undertaking one of these courses, you do need to demonstrate your competence during the course. Don't assume that because you have signed up that you'll automatically become competent at the end of the course. Now, over my time as a trainer and an assessor and as a coach, I've noticed that the good mediators have common characteristics to help them be successful, and more importantly, to help them work with the mediation participants to design a workable outcome for the conflict. And here are some of the things that I've noticed over the years. So, good mediators are comfortable allowing the participants to solve their own problems. Good mediators are patient. Good mediators are flexible, and they can use this process they've been provided in a way that best meets the needs of the participants they're working with. Good mediators have a variety of communication strategies that they call on throughout the process. And good mediators respect people. If you're not sure if mediation is for you, have a look up the National Register and see if you know anybody on there and ask them, what's it like to be a mediator? Now, people often ask me about the benefits of being an accredited mediator. Well, from my perspective, being aligned to the national body whose role is to advance the field of mediation is important for me to be a part of. Being nationally accredited also means that I'm demonstrating to others that I have developed my knowledge and skills, and I also have had practice in mediation, meaning I have actually been mediating. Now, it's a 2-year process, mediation in Australia, and it's not very expensive. But there is lots of ongoing professional development. So there is a national mediation conference every 2 years, and the last one was held in 2016 on the Gold Coast. And I was fortunate and excited to be a presenter at that conference. It's a great conference to attend because you meet mediators from all walks of life. People who are in workplaces like myself, people who are dealing with commercial disputes, family disputes, restorative processes, so for both juveniles and also for adults. So it's a great mix of people who attend. There are also researchers who are presenting the latest information on projects both nationally and internationally. So you get a better understanding of what is going on across this field of ours that we love called mediation. Now, there are other options available for the professional development as part of the accreditation process. And that's things like being a coach for role play for trainees. It could be being an assessor. So there's a number of aspects that are outlined in the standards that you can check to see which suit you. It's not too onerous if you're interested in becoming a mediator. If you've got any questions, feel free just to call or make a contact through my website. Now here comes some obvious plugs, right? Alert, alert. If you're interested in a 5-day mediation skills course that's focused on workplace mediation that meets the requirements outlined in the training program for the level 1, which heads towards national accreditation, then have a look on my website because I have courses running through there. Maybe you're just after a book with a bit more information about how mediation works. So I've written a book to help you in that situation. It's called From Conflict to Consensus, Managing Workplace Conflict Well. And you can buy them from the website as well. Or if you're just after some weekly tips on how to manage yourself and others in conflict, then sign up for my weekly newsletter at my website. I hope now you have a greater understanding of how to become a mediator in Australia. As I said at the beginning, it's a profession that I love. And I didn't know back on that day in about 2005 where that 5-day training course would take me. And I haven't looked back since. If you're interested in mediation, I hope this is something that you find valuable. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Andrea Doyle, owner of Doyle Solutions. I am a workplace mediator, a conflict manager, an author and presenter. Bye for now.